to Total Disclosure by Pop Culture Corner. My name's Ty, and I'm your host. Before we get into the show, guys, make sure to smash that like button, share the show with your grandmother, your aunt, your sister, your brother, your brother's boyfriend, your sister's girlfriend, all that good stuff. If you want to support the channel, definitely join our membership. Early access to podcasts, audio platforms, extra bonus content, and so much more. Not going to waste too much time. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a recent flap. For anyone who doesn't know, a flap is a word coined by MUFON, and it is basically when an extended sighting happens over multiple days with corroborating witnesses. We just had one of those in Brazil for November 4th to the 6th, and we're going to be joined by Lil Pup Tart and Love is Perspective tonight to kind of get into this and break it down. Also talk about some other stuff, of course. We're not just going to bore you with that. But, guys, what's going on? Oh, everyone's muted. Ha, 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 ha.
Oh, damn. What up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Nothing. How's everyone doing?
Very good.
All good.
Listen, have you ever, before today, before I mentioned it, did you guys know what a UFO flap was?
No.
No, me neither. I honestly didn't know.
Well, yeah. So a flap is a sighting that extends over a period of time with corroborating witnesses. Thank you, Jofo TV, first-time viewer from Reddit. I just joined Reddit, so I'm trying to get the hang of it, but it's a little different.
Nope. I love Reddit.
Dude, it's a crazy. I thought Twitter was a crazy place.
No.
It ain't got shit on
Reddit's
on
like
Reddit.
uncensored as fuck. Like, I don't think there's any really censorship that I know of on Reddit. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of shit on there.
Yeah, Reddit is really one of those places like you can take anywhere with.
Right. So I asked you both to do a little digging. So I want to hear what you guys have and what you guys dug up. Let's start with Love's Perspective. What did you hear about this Brazilian case, and what did you gather?
Okay, so essentially what I really gathered up was most of the fact that you see, like, actually, since my friend, he lives in Argentina and can actually tell me that, like what happened in that place, he essentially just told me that he felt like when I showed him the article of the 100 UFO sightings that have been happening throughout November in the days of the of what was going on. Essentially, I feel like that whole climate of 100 objects is being seen by multiple witnesses. He told me, like, from his perspective, he said he felt more of the fact that that could be Starlink or military bases, because there's a lot of known U.S. bases throughout our Brazil and Argentina, and essentially that's what I mostly gathered up through.
What? Well, I don't know. Starlink. Starlink is very. These were individual. Wasn't it 3 objects picked up on radar, and they were chased by military jets?
Yeah, so, that's what I was thinking. Like, like that's what I was thinking too. Like each and all of them, because I've seen Starlink with my own eyes, and it's most of the time it's in a train, But once again, it was 100 objects. So 50% could be UFOs, or and some of it could just be all in the mix.
Yeah, I personally, now again, this whole subject is open for debate, of course, but I personally, I can't subscribe to the whole that every sighting can be chalked up to Starlink. That's been something that's been happening on Reddit, Twitter, all these places. Sorry, Love, I'm muting you. You got a little bit of that white noise. Just if you can try to fix it, maybe, or make it come down. Every person I know that can't, Mick West loves doing this. Now, Mick West, listen, we need people like Mick West. We need skeptics. But, okay, you know what? Let me rephrase that.
Mick West tweet just pulled up. as you said that name. That's wild.
Maybe we don't need people like
Him
Mick
talking
West.
about Starlink. Starlink strikes again. That's fucking nuts. I mean, that's what I was looking for. But so
Really? Is it legitimately about Starlink?
yeah, it's what I was like a piece of what I was
That's hilarious.
trying to debunk it.
But so everyone and their mother uses Starlink as a get out of jail free card for UFOs now. And did you send me a video, right?
Yeah, I've sent you. That's actually funny because that's the same video Little Pop Tart just kind of showed on the thing.
Let me so I'll bring this up, but Pop Tart, what did you find out about this case?
So I mean, obviously, UFOs are not new in Brazil, right? So we know about the moment of contact, case that happened in '96. I just found out from Wikipedia actually. There was another case in '96. There's been cases, throughout at least the '40s, but let me see this real quick. Yeah.
Well, that's a whole nother thing that I was actually going to bring up is the correlation between this current Brazilian flap comes literal days, maybe a week after Moment of Contact is released,
right,
and the world kind of gets reintroduced and revigorated in their interest in that whole Brazilian UFO incident. Now,
yeah,
could this correlate? Now, you're a huge CE5 guy.
for sure.
Do you think that's a possible that if
Oh yeah,
if UFOs and their occupants, let's call them their occupants, could they be watching our media? I know that sounds
sure.
crazy, but
Yeah. I mean, they are very aware of our entire civilization, our entire culture, society, everything. You know what I mean? And that too. But the one I was talking about in '96 was allegedly a cone shaped UFO, a big, and the bottom of it was the size of a football field, allegedly. And it talks about the Varginha case too in '96. But this one was a cone shape, and then out of the top of it, a miniature UFO came out of the top of it, flew into space, and the big UFO allegedly followed behind it, traveling into space too. But
now what happened with the military? Did anyone hear about what happened with the military? Because now, from what I understand, this thing traveled over at least 3 countries. These things traveled at least over 3 countries. Argentina, Brazil, and one other that I can't remember. I'll pull it up in a minute. But I mean, there should be a lot of people who saw this fucking thing, and a lot of video evidence. I would hope. Now, did anyone come across anything like that?
so
That's
you've heard about this case in '96? Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about currently?
No, I'm talking about the
currently,
recent one.
currently,
Yeah.
obviously, it's not been any cone shaped sightings. You know what I'm saying? But it's been a lot of UFO sightings. Yeah, since apparently like October 24th or something. There's been
Okay.
a big increase, and by commercial pilots, by civilians, obviously, by military, all kinds of sightings. A lot, and I'm looking at them right now. Mostly orbs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of big orbs, and they sped up the videos in some of them, but it shows orbs going in separate directions and different color orbs too. Right here it says some patterns as seen by pilots: peak 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Red, orange, yellow, green. Slow passing lights and also static, some for dozens
Right.
of minutes. Splitting / regrouping, variable speeds, altitudes, directions. So, I mean, you're right. A flap is something that we needed to describe it because it is just like it's very strange. There's been such a huge increase in Brazil specifically. I've obviously never been to Brazil, never been out of the country, but just hearing about it, you know what I'm saying? The news is making its way all the way here. That's not just one sighting or a couple sightings, that it's, what you call a flap.
And guys, this is big. This is fucking big because, that's why I can't stress this enough. Exactly what he just said. Nailed it. Fucking nail on the head, buddy. This is something we need to take interest in because not only since a movie was released about a Brazilian UFO. Hey Gage, what's up, Shotgun Orta? Looks like you got some new faces in the chat. I'd love to see that. Ever since we switched topics, movies to UFOs, we've had a decline on YouTube, but an incline on all the audio platforms. So it's like good and the bad, but it's good to see we're getting to interact again because these are the people I love. I love coming to talk to everybody. And so this is why this is so important, though, is when these things happen, because it's one thing to watch a documentary and like investigate a case that happened 20 years ago, like Roswell, but when something's smacking you in the mouth, like you got to get boots on the ground. So I hope MUFON has sent folks in to investigate this. I really do. I hope the U.S. government has sent people in on this thing because something's going down, and more UFOs are reported over Ukraine during an explosion, an explosion that rocked Ukraine, by the way. And I mean, there's just a plethora. There was another one over a religious sentiment. I don't know which one it was, but there's been a lot of sightings lately since this movie came out.
Bro, I just found, it's obviously not the real picture. I just sent it to you on Twitter, though. Found this story that the same journalist reporter that's been covering a lot of the Brazil UFO stuff I've sent you posted about the 96 incident I was just talking about, and it's showing these pictures of cone-shaped UFO with smaller UFOs coming out the top of it. It's obviously,
So
a recreation.
That? Yeah. So can you send that to the private chat? Oh no, because you can't. Send it to me. Okay. No, right there. Put that back up.
Can you see it? Hold on. Can you see that?
Yes. Okay. So the crafts are coming out of the main one. Looks like a volcano.
You can see that jet right there too. Apparently, there's like a military jet, I guess, there.
Right.
This apparently the saucer was 3 times the size of the plane. The ship that sent red beams through the still open dome and flew at high speed, disappearing into the sky.
And there was so this is to go along with what he is saying. Just a few UFO reports by pilots last night. It seems the peak was from November 4th to the 6th. These lights were going south of Brazil, mainly from Lagoa dos Patos. I'm sorry if I fucked that up. Lagoa dos Patos to the Atlantic Sea, probably with a good point of view from Punta del Este, Uruguay, and Mar del Plata, Argentina. So fucking thousands of fucking people should have seen this thing. So let's watch this video, guys. This has been sent to me by Love is Perspective from the channel UFO Section 51. Shout out to them for getting this video up. So that's another thing. The airline pilot's testimony. All that is coming out as well. Is that it right there? These lights right there? Holy shit, dude. What are those? All right. Are you guys seeing what they're talking about here? The little orbs that keep doing, I mean, they're not doing any like right angle turns or anything like that, but they are seemingly coming out of what the fuck was that one?
They're coming and disappearing, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they're orbs, which I've seen so many times.
It's like they're phasing in and out of our reality.
And that's why I say 99% of the time, this is my own, like, personal fucking theory, whatever you call it, is that UFOs are orbs 99% of the time. Only the 1% are they an actual physical 3D craft.
Right. I don't like how this has music.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I mean, I can see them clear as day, but I can't tell if the
It's
video.
so many, bro. I mean,
is it replaying or is it showing us different?
Eventually,
ones?
it replays. Yeah, it does replay eventually, but it's a lot.
Holy
so it just shows
shit!
There's been an increase in the frequency, bro. You know,
Whoa, you see that one?
yeah, they're fast, different colors. Yep, that's just
Red,
that's what
red.
I've seen doing CE5. Exactly what you see, like 99% of the time while doing CE5. It's only the
Hold on.
rare occasion you get a
Hold on. We got to pause
visible.
that. Hold on. We got to pause that. Dude, that is pretty insane. These
So
these playing some FIFA and FIFA right now. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Bob, I used to love FIFA, dude. You guys ever played the FIFA game?
I used to play soccer. You know what I'm saying, when I was a kid. So
Yeah,
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 it's so addicting.
it's
That
pretty fun.
it's like NFL, like the Madden games. But
I'm not a big sports guy anymore, bro.
no, me
I
either,
I,
dude.
I
It's
used to like sports as a kid. That
now. Do you guys think that UFOs, not only now say they are interstellar? So, do you guys also think that they're interdimensional as well? Do you think it's encompasses um a similar sphere, if you will? Is
yeah,
it? It's not
there
one or the other. It's both.
it's all the above, bro. It's extraterrestrial. It's interdimensional. And then apparently there's ultra terrestrial, which is from our own home planet Earth. And now we're learning some of the interdimensional beings might actually be sharing Earth with us also. You know what I'm saying? As ultra terrestrials or extraterrestrials, crypto terrestrials, they call them, whatever. But basically, mean that they've been here longer than us, living in the
Right.
Earth, living in the oceans, inside the Earth, possibly. Obviously, I can only say 100% for things I've seen. That's what I believe, though, that they are in the oceans living, in other dimensions here on Earth living. And obviously, we know from uh, extraterrestrial and interdimensional too. So,
I believe that 100% that if they are interdimensional, that they can travel through speed, through consciousness, through thought, because essentially they are moving through dimensions when they are going through these interdimensional travels. And I feel like when they are basically putting themselves out there to see, it's almost like a projection for allowing them to see us and allowing us to see them. It's all vice versa.
Okay, so you think it's all kind of inhabits now, like the paranormal, right? Um, a lot of people associate these orbs with potential confusion for also paranormal phenomena coming through walls in people's houses, and being able to shapeshift. Now, these, I don't want to go too far into it, but the dimensional aspect, that's where it kind of gets tricky because that's where this whole phenomenon gets tricky because if one thing's true, then it's all true. If nothing's true, then nothing's true, right? So it's very hard to gauge, and that's why this phenomenon, it has so many people attached to it, so many different investments and stuff like that, because there are so many different types of people that have to be into it. Because this is not just one, a UFO in the sky. This is beings on the ground. This is atmospheric phenomena. This is everything. So I'm gonna continue the video,
and
but go ahead.
ETs can actually control weather too. They can do controlled weather environments, according to Greer, while doing CE5. That they can have like their whole area, whatever, will be completely warm, and like people were like getting hot, like taking off their jackets in like the cold, and then you walk, right past this whatever invisible line, I guess, and it's freezing because the
Right,
ETs would
right.
give them a controlled environment.
Right.
Being
Well, even Mark said that. Mark,
really,
yeah, with his UFO sighting, he said that the atmosphere around him became very heavy, very, like thick, and other people have said that as well.
yeah,
Like Jim Peniston of the Rendlesham incident,
mm,
said that the atmosphere was super super thick, and
yeah,
that's when they passed out. And
yeah,
you know could it have been a correlation between, you know, Mark saw them, see them, you know what I mean? Like they were spotting them. So, like, could they have tried to send a message like, hey, don't freak out? But maybe Mark couldn't receive that message because he wasn't willing to.
yeah. So does he do CE5?
No, he's super afraid of it. I'm
Okay.
trying to get
Well,
him to do it.
then that's why he might not have had a positive experience. You know what I'm saying?
It was in Costa Rica with his mother and his dad
But
on vacation.
it wasn't positive though. It was
No,
negative.
he said it was positive. After I got him talking about it,
Yeah.
you know, it's funny. After I got him to talk in depth, his mother got on the phone, confirmed
Oh,
everything,
Yeah.
confirmed all of it, and you don't get that all the time, dude.
Yeah.
So guys, check out our Halloween special. It was really good, really
But
fucking good.
like you were saying though about spirit orbs basically being, the same or connected to the orbs of UFOs. And you're right. You hear stories, but there's also pictures. People take pictures all the time, and there's orbs in them, right? In their house, et cetera. Whether it's a spirit or a trick of the camera, or whatever, I don't know. But people associate seeing them with their eyes, eyewitness. So allegedly, I know I've never seen a ghost or claim to have seen a ghost ever, and
Right.
I don't really have any interest in that because that's like lower dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Lower frequency like beings and like demons, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what I'm trying. That's not my intentions of making contact with. If that was your intentions, I'm sure you could make contact with lower dimensional beings, demons, Ouija board, etc. But with CE5, obviously, the intentions is higher dimensional, positive. Super intelligent beings.
I agree with
Alive.
Jofo TV on this one. So I think that if we see them, it's only because they want you to.
They allow us to.
Yeah, I think
sure.
it's because they allow us to be love. You practice CE5 and that sphere of things. What do you think about that? Do you think that they don't get seen unless they want to? You think that they're, advanced enough to know if a camera's being pointed at them?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I've had I had this one experience where essentially there was this orange orb, right? It was sitting behind the trees of my apartment, and I pointed the camera at it, and it slightly moved a little bit, like behind the tree. No, it's like almost telling me like, please do not record me. I feel like they have the
They're
type
like,
of
hey,
chill,
they are
bro.
they're like,
they're
hey,
like
not
sentient,
tonight,
like
not
they're
tonight.
sentient. Yeah, like
That's how
they're
they are,
sentient.
though. They're a little sensitive, bro. And that's why a lot of times I didn't even try to record a lot of my experiences because I didn't want
Love you,
to.
Sam.
I didn't want it to possibly end or possibly ruin it. Only a few times where was I like comfortable and like ready and like could get a good video because not even all the time could you even get a good video of if you were seeing something like
Right,
a physical craft. It's hard to, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah, I
And
want to
now,
add more into that.
good.
But like essentially, the thing is with that, my first ever when I've ever tried contact, my intentions were never to record them because when you think about it, you're mostly thinking about recording them in that moment, but not actually in that moment. If you get what I'm trying to say, like with them, without having to record, and I feel like they gain more trust.
Yeah,
You when the more you just focus on the contact itself.
that's how I feel. And bro, that's why I was telling Ty literally like today. I wanted to talk about this because whenever my son made his big contact, I always talk about because it was the most beautiful, amazing contact of all of mine. Um, as soon as I lifted up my iPad to record it, right, because it was the silver disc at first, physical, silver, seamless disc, and I for a long time I thought this is my personal theory that they shapeshifted. It became the orb as soon as I lifted up the iPad and said, "Look, buddy, you did it. You did it again." I thought it was because Sire, my kid, was looking at the same time, but I'm pretty sure he actually got to see the saucer for a few seconds, for a couple seconds before it shapeshifted. And I think the real reason that it shapeshifted to the orb wasn't because it was Sire looking at it, but it was because I pulled out my camera, my iPad camera, at the same time, and
Mhm.
that's because Sire's the one that made the contact. I wasn't even the one that initiated it at all. It was all him. So obviously they were there for him. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't they would obviously be cool with him seeing them.
Yeah,
So that's why it's like they obviously have some technology that can detect cameras.
and you'd have to think again. Like I'd have to believe this. if I was an advanced species, civilization, and I had craft that could not only manipulate gravity, and I do like what Joe Pro brought up, could visibility have to do with manipulation of gravity? Yes, I definitely think those two could correlate. Now, if they are a craft that manipulated gravity, could that affect the way that it's seen? I think that could be possible. I'm not a scientist, but again, it would not seem out of the sphere of possibility.
Yeah.
But again, I think they can control. Think about what we've done. We've already built material that can be basically it refracts light in a way that makes it seem like the object you're covering isn't there. It's like a cloak of it. I'll look up the video. It's kind of cool, but we're already on that path to stealth wise being able to kind of hide in plain sight. Shout out to Dockside Media. Dude, I still get that. By the way, that for anyone who watches Moment of Contact, if you want another good documentary to watch, go watch In Plain Sight by Dockside Media. Pop-Tart and I loved it. Me and Pop-Tart loved that one.
Real quick, bro. So the thing that I gathered from, let alone my kids' contact, just that is, they did so many, it did so many, I don't know, operations or did so many maneuvers in that one contact that I'm literally going to make like a 4 or 5 part canvas, 4 or 5 different canvases of each thing it did. Because at first it was the silver disc, but it shapeshifted. So they can be physical 3D craft, obviously like a car, I'm saying, anything physical 3D. They can also shapeshift into the orbs like we know, and that's what they are most of the time. But another thing they can do is what we're talking about, the cloaking, where they can become full on invisible. Right? They can also teleport and leave, which is what I thought they did the first time whenever it disappeared. I thought it was just gone, but I'm pretty sure it was just invisible because it came back 5 minutes later with the birds. But the 5 observables, hypersonic velocities, number 1.
I love how you use those, and that's a Lou Elizondo thing.
Instant acceleration, number 2. Anti-gravity, number 3. Low observability, cloaking is number 4. And then 5, transmedium travel. I mean, yeah, like Lou Elizondo, I guess he's the one that
no,
created
it was.
I don't know if he made it or not. But
It was the UAP task force, the ATIP program, and all the OSAP program came up with those.
Well, it's still a pretty good list. You know what I'm saying?
It is
to determine for at least
No, it is. I just love how it's for you. It's conflicting.
Well, bro, I support humanity. I'm pro humanity. I'm not a politician. I'm not into politics. I want to get into politics, but I'm not on either political side, right? Like, I love humanity. But he's right. Like, low observability, cloaking, they have all the technology we have. Cell phones, they have a higher, more advanced version. They have the Neuralink, more advanced version. They have cars, they have more advanced version with the anti-gravity, free energy. They have all these same stuff that we have. They're so much more like than us than we realize. There's always the comparison of we're the ants and they're the humans, or stuff like that, but really we're so much alike. They have civilizations. They're just doing their shit right. They know what the fuck they're doing, and they're living in peace and harmony.
Do you think Brazil? All right, now this is for both of you guys. It seems like Brazil is a fucking hot spot. If there is a hot spot, Brazil is that hot spot. Like, as of the, I would say post Roswell, after all the shit that happened in the United States, Brazil really kicked into gear as a secondary like UFO haven. Could the Brazilian government actually be the ones to disclose this topic to the world?
This is a
pull that up
from Brazil. I don't know what year exactly it is.
Yes, that's actually one of the most. That was one of the pictures that's
it was in the newspaper legit. Or something. Yeah, like it was super legit. But Nick and that's South America is also where Richard Doty claims that they did the false flag operations of fake abductions, hoaxing abductions in Brazil and South America.
Oh, did we ever get to that, Love? What is your idea? What's your perspective on abductions?
Well, essentially, what I believe that abductions could be, well, like I've read on many like books that talk about abduction. A lot of people think that it's like it's pretty messed up that other beings are taking other people from realms like on their spaceship. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
It's not like we're a cow, that you can just
right,
pick up and drop down, right? We're like
yeah,
we're
like
an intelligent being.
right, but essentially the thing is that there are things called. Have you ever heard of Mia Labs?
No.
Okay, so Mia Labs are essentially black cover projects that are basically of humans abducting humans. They are being dressed as humans,
Ah,
and then putting them into a synthetic state of mind to make them think they've been abducted by actual beings, but it wasn't beings; it was just humans.
so you're are you familiar with Richard Doty?
Sort
You
of,
sh-
sort of.
you should listen to his testimony because what you're saying lines up exactly with what he says.
Hmm.
Yup.
I mean, I've heard this also from Stephen Greer, like quoted.
Well, that's definitely where he got it. Because Doty's Doty was the guy who kind of got that. Well, at least confirm because Greer asks him straight up, "Is this happening?" And he says, "Oh yeah, it's happening." And then
Yeah.
he's like, "It's
Greer's the one that did the 3 hour interview with him, or two hour interview with him,
some
which
of the
that's
best
what's on.
testimony."
That's what they used for the cosmic hoax or
Cosmic
whatever.
hoax.
They just
Yeah.
flipped up Richard's testimony, but his was the most explosive. Same with Plain and Sight. His was the most explosive, more
Oh
so
my
than Bob
god.
Lazar. It's Bob Lazar on steroids, bro. Bob Lazar times 1,000.
But in
This is the
general,
biggest shit ever. Go ahead, bro.
oh, but in general, I feel like the thing about abductions itself, whether it is human initiated or whether it's extraterrestrial being initiated, I feel like taking away the free will of any being shouldn't be like allowed in that manner. Instead
Right.
of because if you wanted to initiate a contact through a like I wouldn't call it abduction at this point. I would call it like you accepting yourself for them, if you were to ever go on a craft. I feel like respectfully do it in a manner that it makes sense.
Hey,
Right.
if abductions were real, then they would come abduct me. They would come abduct people doing CE5, or even people. I just found out too that HICE, HICE. I don't know anybody that
Can you
does it,
want to
but
talk about that a little bit?
a little bit because I don't know much about it. But according to someone on Facebook, it's basically people that just don't fuck with Greer, like people that want to do CE5 but not give Greer credit for CE5. So it's like, what the fuck?
Well,
Just call it
like you
contact and
sent
just
me, I like just like you sent me about the exchange between them.
yeah.
Now, human initiated contact does in fact predate Greer.
Well, yeah, of course, every civilization's
But
done contact.
yeah, but Greer is definitely accredited and should be credited with normalizing it, putting it in a
Mainstream,
package, and being
mainstreaming
able
it.
to push it.
Yeah, for sure. I would have never fucking known about any of it without Greer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he did a damn good job. You know what I'm saying? Like with all of it, super organized, super easy. You do it yourself. And at the very most is like you have to pay $10 if you want to buy the app. You don't even have to. But that's like
Right.
all you
You
have to
don't need.
pay. And they call him a grifter and a fucking scam. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously
My
this is
dad called
real.
him Stephen Bear. When he was when he was talking to me, he goes, "This is my dad." Right, I'm quoting my dad here. Um, and this fucking guy, Stephen Bear, he's a piece of work, huh? I fucking died laughing, dude, because he was so serious, and he was like, Stephen Bear, and oh my god, my dad is actually a huge fan of the show,
Yeah,
so
that's dope.
thank you, Dad, but to the shit that my dad is the big you think Mick West is a skeptic? My dad is the biggest fucking skeptic in the world. We're gonna get him on the show. I'm gonna bring him on.
It's a human response. It's like our nature, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to not be skeptical about things, but I try to also be. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to have the balance. But yeah, bro, with this subject, it's something that was so hard for me personally to wrap my mind around. You know what I mean? I grew up religious schools and stuff, private schools, and I was just like super, super closed minded. In a way, I was open minded, but it was just so hard for me to wrap my whole brain around all of it after the contact and stuff, because that confirmed all of it. I was super interested the first months I learned about UFOs, right? So from January 2021 till November, that's when I learned about CE5, watched the movie. So, but I didn't have any contact until June 1st of 2021. So I started my research in beginning of 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic. And so for that whole time, though, like UFOs were cool, and I was really interested studying it every day, but I wasn't sure if they were real or not. I was never sure.
You were still under that
And-
umbrella of
Yeah, uncertainty
wonder.
of skepticism, and until those first 7 months of practicing CE5, I became an even bigger skeptic about all of it, but especially about Stephen Greer. And you know, that's why I said I watched the videos about like Linda Moulton Howe talking shit on him, and I want to see if he was a scammer or not. I want to see if he was really
Out of all the people
But the
who's
the
a
fact,
scammer, she's one of them.
but it was such a fucking like relief and everything, bro. The best feeling when I started making contact. You know what I'm saying? And it was just instantaneous, just like back to back to back to back, no doubt about it. You know, and when you know, like love knows what I'm talking about. When you know, you know. Like there's times when an object might be far away, and it might even look like an orb, but you can't count that as a UFO, as a sighting, if you're not 100% sure. And you know, even if you don't get a video, you have to just know that you're making contact with that craft. If it does something, not even the 5 observables, but something different, which they do, the power-ups, lots of different things, changing colors, then
Now,
you know, it's legit.
Why the change color thing? That always baffled me. The whole changing color on people.
Yeah, I think
because
it's mostly like you see like as an orb will like change colors, and I think that's something to just do with lights, bro. I mean, you know, just something to do with lights. Kind of if you stare at a star, it kind of changes colors too, just staring at it. You know what I mean?
right, it kind of
If
blinks
you
at you.
stare at it for so long, and yeah, when doing C5, you never want to get mixed up with the stars too, because if you like look at a star and there's clouds, it might look like, oh shit, there's a fucking orb and it's moving, but it's a damn star and it's just the clouds moving. So you're
Now,
supposed to use satellite trackers and shit too, which I don't actually use, honestly.
I do, yeah.
Which you should, but I live in the middle of bumfuck Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So rarely do I ever see a fucking satellite. And if I did see one and I thought it was a UFO, then you know, it probably didn't do anything too crazy for me to even consider it to be a real sight.
I want to bring something up, guys. Now, this is legitimate. China just came out to over the past couple of days, and now China's been getting real pushy lately. Hey, little puppy sight. The tongue came out. Little pup sighting.
That's Ralph.
Hey, Ralph. Basically, China has said they are getting ready for any war. Now, so they're preparing for any war. They did not specifically say what. Now, this comes after the United States claims surveillance drones UFOs are surveillance drones of Chinese origin.
Wow.
And comes after all this these UFO sightings
Yeah.
that have been popping up.
They're
Now,
gonna blame it on China, bro. They're gonna blame it on someone.
Could China use the UFO topic to invade and annex Taiwan? I think it's possible.
As a false flag.
As a false flag. Exactly. And
Yeah.
and then say, but why wouldn't China be using these surveillance drones over Taiwan? Why aren't we getting if the US government is correct in saying these Tic Tacs and stuff, they're of Chinese origin and they're drone technology. Why aren't we seeing footage out of Taiwan seeing the same thing? Because that's the first place they would be. That'd be the first place they'd pop up, because China doesn't care about the United States as much as it cares right now about Taiwan and annexing Taiwan. Of course, the United States backs Taiwan, much like it backs Ukraine. So there becomes that, secondary conflict. But China is really focused on reclaiming that territory as their own, because it's been their own the whole time under Beijing's ideas. What do you guys think about China?
Okay, yes, I've actually been keeping up with this. Like Taiwan, the reason China wants Taiwan is sort of like like a Russia with Kyiv, and them trying to take it back, because the same beliefs that comes from Russia also goes to China. They believe if they're able to take back what they had, but even though because any communist leader, I feel like essentially.
Someone's got an alarm.
I don't think it's
Someone
me.
gotta wake up. It's time to wake up.
You
Oh
wait.
shit, my bad.
Wake
That
up.
was my alarm. My fault.
I'm just kidding.
All right, so essentially, okay, so like I was saying, the tensions between the U.S. and now China and Taiwan, I feel like there is going to be a
For
war.
sure, I'll go on.
100%. Essentially, only because they're going to take back what they believe is their own property. And just like like any communist country that believes in those sort of beliefs, they're going to take back what they believe is theirs.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'm from Cuba, so our regime is the same way. There's a communist regime in Cuba, the same way with Russia, and the same way with the missile crisis that happened a long time ago.
Yeah, the
with
Cuban Missile
JFK.
Crisis was I'm talking like that was a misunderstanding that could have been deadly to the whole world. Now the reason I bring up China war, and because I hate to do that, but could the uptick in UFO sightings? I hate to say this. Do you think they know something that we don't know? That maybe something is about to kick off that they're here to see?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yes, 100%.
That kind of scares the shit out of me. Like they're here to see something that they know's about to happen, and we don't.
Look,
it makes me fucking nervous.
look, this might sound crazy, but as a kid, I've always felt like 2020 was going to be a year that's just going to be very, very bad, and I've always had this feeling that and this is going to keep getting worse and worse, and the way that we are coming through, because I've always dived into many conspiracies that led me to the point that 2020 and all these other years that are coming are just going to be insane. I mean, from a lot of things from Nostradamus predictions, from if I mentioned the Illuminati card game, as many things that have been there in place in our eyes for us as always. And you see, I feel like the UFO sightings are definitely going to increase more and more the more that we read into this war, unless there's an intervention that can prevent all of this. And that's quoted also from Stephen Greer. But if anything were to occur, I feel like they could just say reset this whole thing and then blow us up and then redo the whole thing over. Because I believe that the same way we have a seed is the same way that you can grow anything, with that seed. If you get what I mean, if you grow a plant, you'll forever have that seed, and then just the earth is a plant, and then it just regrows again, and then the whole same thing happens. I feel like it's all a plant. All of this is plant.
Oh, I get it. Now I get what Jofo was saying. Then I contradicted myself. Okay. Yes. But I'm saying we were seeing the Tic Tac in 2004, right? If
Right.
it was Chinese technology, we would have documented cases much either at the same time as the 2004 or shortly after, because these are the first that sightings of our military seeing them. Don't be sorry for spamming the chat. No one else talks in the chat sometimes. You got we'll have 20 people watching and 3 people commenting. It drives me nuts. So Please, guys, comment. It's super fun to engage with you. For me, the audience is part of the show. Like they're however many guests we have, they're the next guest. So tonight we have 3 people. The audience is the 4th person, right? So that's how I play it. I don't know. I like that's how I've always done it. I don't know. Other people are like stingy about it, but yeah. So that whole theory kind of scares me. That maybe they're here for some reason. The nuclear aspect of it definitely intrigues me. Now, the connection between nuclear, UFOs, and water. There's definitely something there. Most of the time, these things are seen near big bodies of water. The Atlantic Ocean, for instance, with the Brazilian UFOs that are just seen. Quickly, though, do you think moment of contact, do you think there's any correlation? Should we spend any time researching into that? Or should we move on past that?
I think UFO cases outside of America and even the governments outside of America might be our best option. I mean, look how America and America's government has treated the subject and suppressed anything and everything they could. And look at all the stuff we've got, even still, even with all the suppression, the truth embargo, this whole huge cover up, there's still been so much that we have got and an overwhelming amount. And you can still go outside today and do CE5 and make your own evidence, make your own sightings. So there is an overwhelming amount. And in every country, it's a global issue. It's not an issue, it's a global phenomenon, that's predated humanity itself.
Right. No, and that, did you ever hear the story about the Spanish influenza? Now,
Spanish flu, I've heard, is it's a disease, right? The Spanish flu.
Yes, Spanish flu is a pandemic, epidemic. But a week before it started, the 3 girls were visited by the Virgin Mary. Now,
Okay, yeah.
they told everybody that they were visited by the Virgin Mary, right? Fucking thousands of people show up and they get to witness orbs in the sky changing shape. Like it looked like the sun, a revolving sun.
Really?
Thousands of people see it.
What year was this?
Back in, I do not know the date. So then a week later, boom, the Spanish flu breaks out and hits the whole world simultaneously, which doesn't happen back then because there was no planes to bring disease to other countries and shit. So for an epidemic like a virus like that to hit the whole world, you'd have to theorize it came from somewhere, not here. Now, not to say that UFOs are spreading disease, but could it have been
man-made?
No, not man-made. This is not. No. This is way before the first airplane was ever even invented. Could it? Like when, for instance, when the British came to here, they inadvertently brought disease with them. They didn't mean to do it, but it happened. Could that be something that happened? But the extraterrestrial civilizations learned quickly. Shit. We almost murdered the planet. We can't do that again.
Yeah.
Could that be possible?
Bro, so the thing is, I'm not even gonna be one to say that Greer is 100% right about everything that he knows, everything in the because nobody is, especially us humans, we're wrong all the time, and if there is any sort of hostility that's been done by any extraterrestrial, ever in the past, I'm not gonna say no, that has never ever happened. I'm saying that I myself have never seen that proof or that evidence. So I have no reason to believe that they are whatsoever. And my belief is that they are all, in order to gain that level of technology, it's like a requirement. You have to be peacefully evolved,
Right.
spiritually evolved, or else you just can't have it. I'm not going to hand you over a UFO if you're still fucking killing people? And why are you not in jail? If you're an alien and you kill people or you're violent, humans
Well,
go to jail.
listen. That's why, like, that's how we were. That's why I didn't say they came and like spread
Yeah.
disease on purpose, because I don't think they do that. I think
I don't
they
know.
did it inadvertently. Because remember, I said that the girls were.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but you would think they'd be smarter than that, though. So that's why I haven't studied this case.
Well, you don't
So
always know. Like, you
I
don't
don't.
always.
That's why I'm
the-
saying I might be wrong about
No, no, I'm
things.
not saying you personally. I'm
Yeah,
saying
but
you as in generally. By the way, guys, I have to do it. You know I have to do it. In about 5 minutes, we'll do the ad read. I have, we got to do it,
like
guys.
abductions, obviously I don't believe are real. Um, could I be wrong? Maybe, but that's my belief as of now. And same with any hostility from ETs. I believe that
You
it's
don't think
it's
that any ET civilization is hostile because now this is a very good point. This is a very good point that because they are advanced cancels out the possibility that they could be
hostile.
malevolent
Yeah,
because they would have destroyed themselves a long
themselves
time ago
exactly
if
before they
they
reached
were.
us.
Right. Now, that's a crazy, crazy intelligent theory because it makes total sense. Because you'd have to think if you were a malevolent civilization, you're evil, focused on domination. You'd have people, you'd basically be us.
Yeah,
You know, we're
primates.
primates. And look, we are not as advanced. Technology is advanced, but humans, we are the same as we were fucking 5
Spiritually,
people ago.
we
Yeah.
haven't spiritually evolved at all, and that's the problem. We've evolved technologically quite a bit, although not as far as the ETs by any means. We've evolved really far, especially in such a short amount of time, technologically. The problem is we haven't evolved spiritually at all, and our spirituality's actually gone downhill. We're actually
Right.
worse spiritually, fucking the
So
world's worse off than
the
it was
same
in the
the
past.
same dummies, literally the same dummies that came over here and founded this country, refounded it, stole it from the natives, basically. Sorry about that, guys. Fucking white people, huh? Jesus Christ.
Fucking privilege.
Look,
Goddamn them fucking white privileges.
But we came here and slaughtered fucking Native Americans and
Yeah, that's why
stole
we
their
don't talk
land.
about Chris Columbus here.
Our history has been so whitewashed, bro. Especially the one I read. We barely even learned about like Martin Luther King like in our school or
Right.
anybody.
No, they spend a lot more time on the white sailors than they
All
did the
white
black
sailors and white.
activists.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
but
weird.
I agree. I think there is a problem. Here's a good little topic, a subtopic, if we will. If the announcement came tomorrow that UFOs are real, do you think they'd go back and rewrite the history books after gaining knowledge that, let's say, UFOs have been real this whole time? And most stories might be bullshit, but there's a lot that aren't, right? Let's say that's the case, and that is the case, by the way. Do we have to go back and retell our history and reanalyze our history? Because there's a lot of shit that we have to take a second look at now.
Hey, so the thing is, the history is been so it's like the telephone game, bro, to where humans, write something down, they tell stories, and it gets,
It gets manipulated somewhere along the
manipulated.
line.
Yeah, very
The
very
longer it's
easily.
told,
The only real way to know is by video evidence, right? At least that's our
or
only knowledge.
firsthand experience.
Yeah, or firsthand. But as of right now, that's all that we know. The ETs, for as long as we've had cameras and video cameras recording them, they've also, as long as they've been visiting, they've been doing the same to us. So that means
Dude,
that all ETs have HD 4K to the very max, whatever they have, videos of Earth, humanity's entire history, Jesus Christ, Elvis Presley, everybody, Moses, and we can see that if they allow it to us. They can literally send us a message like that, give us a download, and show us whatever Earth's history.
I thought that this would be a good
Quote.
thumbnail.
Yeah.
And that is the case, by the way, because UFOs are real.
That
And
could be your catchphrase.
that's gonna be my catchphrase. And by the way, that is the case. But no, you, you know what's crazy to me? How
Well,
we don't know our own history. Like, how we don't know our own origin. Do you
yeah.
think that maybe, just maybe, we're not supposed to know?
No, we are. We've just been fucking like lied to so bad, bro. We've it's our own fault for humans lying to other humans, but it's such a fucked up situation that we totally erased our entire history. Humans, we barely know 2000, years ago about Jesus, this or that. We have, recorded human history, you know, but what of that is true and what of that is not true? We don't know just from, you know, books.
Right. Well, what I'm saying, I guess maybe I didn't say it the right way, but
What'd you say?
do you think that now say we were engineered? Do you think maybe they don't want us to know that yet? Maybe that's not something like maybe
Yeah,
the
if
creation. Maybe Frankenstein shouldn't know how he was made.
well, that goes deeper, bro. Because obviously, if you want to talk about God and stuff too, somebody,
We
you
can.
know, somebody made us. I'm still, I believe that we do have a God. I believe a lot of
So there is a supreme being, in your opinion.
Christianity, for sure, and apparently the ETs believe so too. And
Yeah,
they have some statue that in their ship that they worship, and they
yeah.
have a supreme
So there's
being
some
that
supreme ultimate being, and
they like
that's
worship.
why I always say by answering one question, we can answer both.
Well, somebody made them though, bro. So it really, and allegedly, according to Dr. Haim Shed, when he came with the bombshell testimony about Donald Trump knowing of ET's existence and working with humans on Mars right now, underground, and but anyways, one things that fucking Dr. Haim Shed said was fuck, what was we just talking about? Religion. I just fucking
Yeah.
I just totally blanked out. My bad.
You
I forgot.
biffed.
I forgot what he said. I'll remember in like 5 minutes. But go ahead.
Um. So what I was saying was, should the creation know about its creator? Now, this is the whole Prometheus thing, right?
Oh, so that's what
Should
he's
we
saying.
have to go on a journey
The
to?
ETs are here to also understand the fabrics of the universe. That was what he's quote saying. They were here to also understand the fabrics of the universe, and that they wanted to use humans as helpers. They wanted humans' help, but we weren't ready yet because we needed to understand more about spaceships and space, and that we weren't spiritually evolved, basically, which is all true. I believe Dr. Hyman Shed was really telling the truth. We most likely
Now,
do.
do you really? Actually, I would love to get Love's because you guys are so accustomed to contact and making contact, make contact TV,
Yep.
making contact. Do you think that what Ashed said, the Israeli space chief basically saying that the United States is in the know, has a secret space program, basically, and because that does line up with a lot of testimony we've heard about a breakaway kind of shadow government that's working on the moon and Mars, with these Galactic Federation members. Do you think that that's even a possibility with what you guys know to be true? I don't. I've never made contact like you guys. I don't have that firsthand knowledge that only a handful of people have that reassurance of. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think in the chat too? Let me know. Was the Israeli space chief, who's someone who's fucking decorated to the gills, but also was selling a book, right? Let's get it. We got to think about it from that side too. Was also selling a book when he said all this
Would
shit.
he risk his entire credibility, bro?
Yes, he
At the
said
end of
so.
his,
He said so.
but I'm
Yes.
saying would
Yes.
he would just like me, but only because he knows he's right. That's the only reason. He's not going to live that much longer. It'll be after he's dead that we get the confirmation that he was right. I don't know how long until him
So
specifically.
you think he's right?
100%, bro. Yeah.
100%. All of it's real.
I think that's fair. That's just the tip of the iceberg, bro. I think that's beyond impossible. I think it's impossible for it not to be possible, for it not to be happening. Like,
I think that is the most outlandish thing I've
it
ever
is,
heard.
but it's because, and why haven't we gone back to the moon, bro? Obviously, they've been doing something since then. Something. No, bro.
Money.
We have. It's the government. It's like NASA, the government. That's all the same. They get unlimited funding. We know that they tunnel in trillions of dollars for their UFO, reverse engineering programs. NASA could have the money to go back to space, go to the
I
moon,
bet
go
they,
anywhere.
if
We
they
went
did
to the moon in
want it, I bet they
'69.
could have it. You're right about.
Obviously,
I think
that's a
about that.
bullshit excuse, bro. Anything is if we did it once before in '69 or whatever, whenever the fuck we went, I don't know.
I want to
If we
add
went,
to this.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so essentially, like, I truly believe that the Galactic Federation is very plausible in a way that the thing is, many spiritual people have spoken about this, as well as people as Dolores Cannon, even people from, like, I'm not sure if you ever heard of. Actually, wait, even Stephen Greer mentions this, and because I've actually have all his books and his DVDs and all that stuff. But essentially, I strongly believe that it's plausible that there could be a council out there that talks about like essentially helping and protecting humanity, whether you believe in the Pleiadians, like they essentially call them Pleiadians, and they are a
From
group of
Pleiades.
yeah, the Pleiades, yeah, from the Pleiades. They're essentially a group of
Hold on.
extraterrestrial.
Pause. Nick, have I heard of truth seekers? Wicked weird that you said that, because the guy who's talking right now down below keeps telling me that I gotta fucking look these people. Who are the fucking truth seekers?
All right, so I want to explain
No,
to
no,
you.
no, no, no. Answer that after. Continue your statement.
Okay, so essentially the so like I was saying, that's Stephen Greer. Oh no, my bad. So essentially, oh man, I kind of lost the train of thought. My bad, my bad.
that's
I
what
know.
happened to me too.
You know what? You know what? Someone made a comment and said that I need to go back to the style that I used to go to, because I think I get a little too excited in this topic, and I double
It's
down
fun, bro.
question.
It's
I
fun.
double question. And I've been doing it a lot lately now that I think of it. So, by the way, if you guys ever write criticism, I take that super seriously in a positive way, not in a negative way, in a positive way. I
But
really do. I love criticism. If someone tells me I'm doing something, like someone said, like Pop Tart, when Pop Tart first started, he was having the white noise issue that Love is having. So we fixed it, right? We only can fix these issues if we know about it, and that relates to the UFO issue too. Because the only way we can move forward is if we know. If we know, this can't be hidden from us. Did that jolt your memory at all, Love?
Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah, I
All
remember.
right, go ahead.
Okay, so essentially, what happened was okay. So essentially, I do believe that the Galactic Federation is highly real. Oh yeah, the Pleiades. Okay, so when I was talking about the Pleiadians, they are a group of extraterrestrial beings essentially here to help the ascension of humanity. And like if you know about the Billy Myers story, there's a lot of there's a lot of skeptics that believe that he's not real, or that he faked some of his stuff. I mean, honestly, I'm not too 100% sure if he did fake it or not, but I feel like the information is credible when it comes to a lot of what he's saying that he got from the Pleiades, because that's where the main source came from, was actually Billy Meyer.
Now, why is this relevant?
The reason,
Because why is this relevant to what the space chief is saying? Because I'm just looking for the connection. I'm not trying to be
okay.
rude.
Oh yeah, so essentially the reason I mention them is because they are part of the Galactic Federation. There's this thing called the Ashtar Command, which the Ashtar Command is it's one of the actual the from the Pleiadians of the Council, the one actually running the Galactic Federation.
Okay. Oh. Now,
They're
okay.
they're definitely organized, bro. I mean, we have governments and organizations on Earth. Obviously, that's the smart thing to do, is to be
If
organized
there
and to work
was,
together,
yeah,
and collaborate. I mean,
if there are multiple extraterrestrial civilizations that are coming to Earth,
mhm,
that it would make sense that they're a part of something. Because now, all right, I will. I actually will contradict my earlier statement by saying this is outlandish by bringing up something for it. After the Russian UFO Roswell, there was a Russian Roswell. I don't remember what it was called. We'll look up the incident later on. After that event in Tchaikovsky or whatever it's called, after that UFO crashed, for days after that, different types of craft were seen phasing in and out of our reality, our
yeah,
dimension, almost as if it was looking for the craft that crashed. Because the craft that crashed, when it was coming down, was all skipping through. Like it looked like it was. This is what testimony said. It looked like it was blinking in and out of existence, right? So if it was hopping through dimensions, you think it's crashing, right? All the systems are malfunctioning. So this thing's coming in and out of our
that's
dimension,
crazy. That's
right?
that's that's real though. That sounds legit.
Yeah,
And because they do phase in and out of space time, they phase in and out of our dimension. And sometimes they'll be halfway in our dimension, halfway in theirs. And like Greer describes it, kind of like whenever you turn on the radio and you get like a station from New York and then a station from fucking Chicago, wherever
yeah,
at the same time,
cross
and
cross
they
signal.
merge. That's what happens there. But like with a couple of the ET photos that Greer has too of the actual ET beings, um, those are basically halfway in our dimension, halfway in theirs. It's like they project a hologram of themselves into our dimension or reality, while they're actually back at their dimension. What for? Safety protocols.
Right. And so yeah, so the after the Russian craft was seen crashed, for days after, there was other types of craft that just could not have been like there was so many. There was cigar shapes, there was discs, there was
Yeah,
spheres, all these things, and they were doing grid searches basically and through dimensions. So like it was like they were all looking for their buddy
yeah,
that needed help. And you know, I think there's some
yeah.
credibility
I
to
mean,
that.
th-
This
they do a lot more stuff than just come here and look at us, bro. We think that
right.
all they do with their life is just come here and like, oh, hope a fucking human sees me. Let me turn my lights on. They have
Yeah.
fucking jobs, bro. They have fucking all the shit that they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? You know, we should be grateful for every sighting that they allow us to have. In all honesty,
Yeah,
N-
Mark asked me the same thing the other day.
not
He
not
said,
not praise and worship them as a god. Obviously, but and because they're just like us. But go ahead.
but it's so funny because Mark said the same thing the other day. He goes, dude, what is an alien day to day like? And I'm like, I never thought
Busy.
about that.
They work jobs just like here on Earth. These ETs are working jobs. Some are in the ocean as biologists. Some are working with our other animals. Some are working in the with the air. Some are working. They're all doing different things. Working with our crops or whatever crop circles. Um, they all have different jobs, and some of them do CE5, and that's their job is to make contact with humans.
So you think there's okay? That's
It's
very interesting. What do
just
you think
another
about
job.
that, love?
Well, honestly, I see it as more of like I kind of see it in a very different perspective.
I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, guys. So continue
Let,
this.
let me hear it.
All right, so essentially, yeah, like I do agree on the job part. Like I feel like
Mm.
each and every single being does have responsibility
You don't
of
think
what
they're
they're
getting
doing.
paid? You don't think they're getting minimum wage?
I mean, I don't see
Kidding.
it like that. I don't know. No, I don't think money is as
They
necessary
need a
when it
damn
comes to
tax
them.
break.
Yeah, like, and essentially, it's more of the fact that, um, whether they like they do have a job, but I feel like it's a more of the divine nature
Spiritual.
of, yeah, like
Yeah.
in the divine nature of,
Obviously, I'm kind of just like summarizing it as like ways that we can, define something like that we understand. You know,
right. No, yeah,
ob-
no, that makes
they,
sense.
they they probably have interdimensional spiritual jobs, working on our fucking spirituality and working inside the spirit world and all kinds of shit. And that's what we're cracking the box open to, bro. Is the spiritual world. It's not just this dimension that we can be present in. We can be alive, living in multiple dimensions. These ETs are living through multiple dimensions, traveling through dimensions, not just traveling to a different planet, which would be, beyond incredible. They're traveling through dimensions, and that's that's just what we're learning now. Imagine what we don't know that else they can do, and
Oh my God.
the optimism that we should have for this, bro. I like having fun. People like living life. Like you like going to the fucking amusement park and riding roller coasters and having fun, enjoying life. No one wants to fucking. If you say, would you rather go sign up for the army or go to Six Flags? 99% of people would rather go to Six Flags and have fun and live instead of fight and die and like that. So as far as the UFO subject, that's something we should look at with optimism and with hope and promise for a not just a future in general, but a very very bright future. Like I've said before, religion especially has been so dark and just based solely on the apocalypse and doomsday, and you better live right and listen to us, or you're going to hell after you die, and
Yeah.
live your whole life, waste your whole life, not questioning everything because God already fucking knows the answer, and just because God knows it, you don't have to question it. So,
Right.
God has it under control, etc., etc. Anything terrible that happens, oh well, and that's the only
God
thing
was mad.
that's the only thing religious people really have to look forward to. Even not religious people, just the world in general, with Hollywood movies and everything, all about the end of the world. That was like the fucking wet dream, for humanity. But in reality, that
Made no
doesn't have to be
sense.
what is reality, bro. We can actually survive, evolve, live life peacefully in harmony, in utopia.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. I couldn't agree more. We got a couple more minutes left. I mean, listen, there's definitely an uptick that's going on right now. Like we are on the precipice of something. Well, I don't know what it is, but it seems something is going on, and
A spiritual movement, bro.
hopefully that's the answer, Pops. I trust me. I wouldn't.
I hope so too.
I wouldn't want anything more than that. I don't want it to be something bad. I don't. I really don't.
Nope.
Guys, make sure to like this video, share it on social media, subscribe for more content like this, ring that notification bell. Don't forget to get your movie palette. Use code Culture Corner 15 at checkout, and you'll get 15% off. Sign up for TubeBuddy if you're a content creator like me and need help with SEO, title ideas, analytically. It's a great tool. I use it every day. Literally every day. So also check out our merch shop. It's integrated with YouTube. Where can they find you on social media, Pop Tart?
Instagram, _little Pop Tart. We're gonna be making some Twitch videos, Twitch streaming, and Discord. Any streaming platform we can get on, we're basically gonna be pushing out content like fucking crazy, and just putting out as much content as we can. Even myself, just putting out solo content every single day. We just want to put out as much content as we can, and we got a lot of exciting things to look forward to, bro.
Yeah, man, so much. It's overwhelming, actually.
It's great.
Love, they can find you on Instagram, I believe, right?
yeah, like Love is Perspective and YouTube Exterior Knowledge.
My man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we'll see you next time, and keep your eyes to the sky, baby.